Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. I've said this before and I'll continue saying it as long as I have breath in my lungs, but Australia has imported a problem, and that problem, ladies and gentlemen, is the religion of Islam. It is spreading rapidly in the West at the moment. I don't know if you've noticed that, but I've made quite a few videos pointing that out to every single one of you. And recently, after I dropped the video yesterday about the Islamic nurse finally being charged for her really disgusting and vile comments about Israeli people, well, I still think the male nurse needs to be charged, but I don't see that actually happening now. They've made the woman, she's now charged, and everyone's going nuts about it. But really, this story should concern and scare each and every one of you that is living in Australia and even in the West, because this is happening quite expansively and nothing's stopping it from happening. So yesterday, students at a Granville High School in Sydney Southwest, I didn't live too far away from Granville. It's close to Parramatta. It's close to Auburn. It's in the vicinity of surrounding suburbs that are currently booming at the moment in Sydney. Sydney, if you haven't been, it is so busy. The roads are chaos, man. You can't get anywhere really. And it's because we are importing so many people and they're all going to Sydney. Personally, I don't know how they're able to survive in Sydney because it's the most expensive, I think, state in Australia at the moment. I know Melbourne is getting up there because of all the debt they've accumulated. But anyway, students at the Granville High School were screaming a protest demanding the return to this school for their Sheikh Wassam Chakwai, or whatever the hell his name is, who was sent home by the New South Wales Department of Education after defending the Bankstown nurses who threatened to kill Israeli patients. And damn well right. This is my personal opinion, but I don't think that anyone should be benefiting at all financially if they are defending horrible comments that were made by these Islamic nurses, or just anyone that is defending the likes of those sorts of comments. I don't think you should be able to profit at all continuously if you've got that viewpoint in your brain and you make a video defending those actions. Everyone in Australia has a right to live peacefully. You come here, you are meant to assimilate. You're meant to follow our rules. You don't create your own laws, your own rules, and your own communities. No, you come to this country because you are blessed to be in this country. Thank you very much. And you are supposed to integrate within the communities and be peaceful, loving individuals. When you have Islamic individuals that are working in a hospital environment, no less, as well, that are saying that a group of people do not deserve to live and they will actually end their lives, I do not think at all, number one, you should be allowed to work in this country. And number two, I don't even think you should be allowed in this country anymore. You should have your citizenship revoked and you should be booted back to where you came from. Thank you very much. Now, some of you may think that's a bit extreme, but I personally don't, because I want Australia to remain being a beautiful, peaceful place. I don't want there to be crime all over the place. I don't want there to be attacks. I don't want there to be people that hate other people so much so that they want to end their life. Thank you very much. Am I just crazy for saying that? And you've got young kids at our high school that are protesting and screaming. It's a war cry. They are telling you right to your faces, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if you're already aware of that. They're telling you right to your faces. We do not care what you think. We do not care what you do. We're going to do it anyway. And that to me is scary. If you're chanting and yelling and screaming this kind of remark, which is a war cry, it's a battle cry, ladies and gentlemen, it's a cry of dominance. That's what they say. T-word people say this when they're carrying out their attacks. Have we not learned from past experiences? The religion of Islam itself It's a death cult. I've said that quite a few times already. I do know, believe it or not, I do know peaceful Muslim people. But in saying that, I have seen them recently post very, very concerning videos. And me personally, me seeing that, it concerns me. It worries me. I've known these people for years. I never thought for 1 second that they would even do such a thing. Turns out that I need to keep my head on a swivel. It's kind of it's worrisome, if you ask me. You know what else is worrisome? Seeing young kids. I've said this many times and I'll continue saying it, but if you want to change a generation or change a culture or society, you indoctrinate the young kids. And that's what the religion of Islam is doing to these young kids. It's no wonder that they want their sheikh, who, by the way, I included him in one of my videos. It's a guy with the white hat and the beard that's all over the place. Him. And his comments defending and saying the mainstream media has blown everything out of proportion. These two nurses, they don't deserve to be ridiculed over the things they said, and everyone's been lying, and it's the actual Israelis' fault. That guy. That's the guy I'm talking about. He's working for the Department of Education, a state-based education system. And I'm glad they booted him. He doesn't deserve to work there. And anyone else that defends, that works in a public environment, a public sector, if someone said that and they were working for me, I'd fire them straight away. I would give them a stern lecture and I'd get them the hell out. No way. They can find another job. Thank you very much. No way would they work for me. You got to hold a set of standards. And as an Australian, an Australian citizen, you've got to respect other Australians. If you don't, see you later. Get out. We don't want you here. And these young kids that are all screaming this death chant outside of a school in Southwest Sydney, that to me is concerning. They've indoctrinated these young kids enough, and I'm sick of it. It's high time that the government of Australia, especially in New South Wales, Chris Minns, mate, you got to do something about this. This is on you. You're the Premier of New South Wales, and you've got people in your backyard that are screaming things they should not be screaming in public, let alone in private. They're protesting somebody that defended horrific and vile comments. Are you going to allow that to stand? Or are there going to be consequences? I wonder. Kiralee Smith goes, is a cry of dominance. It is political and religious at the same time. It is a war cry. Islam is a death cult, and those who follow the disgusting example of Muhammad do not abide by democratic laws or respect civil society. Muhammad was a violent, misogynistic PDF file. Yes, there are Muslims who are not fundamental, who don't follow his example, or want to destroy or dominate the infidel and Israel. I know a couple of them, but still I mentioned not all of them that I know, but a few that I've seen are posting very selective and suggestive content on their social media profiles, which is concerning. So, however, there is an increasing number of Muhammad followers who are asserting this war cry and are prepared to follow the anti-democratic, anti-civil example of this so-called prophet. They are in schools, the healthcare system, politics, and they are mobilizing, and they are mobilizing fast. And you know what the government is more worried about? Islamophobia. They're more worried about that somehow than what's going on in their backyard. They are telling you right to your faces, government, citizens, they want to take over. They're doing just that. Here is the protest, by the way. You have the police that drove by, did nothing. Oh, we'll just allow them to chant this sort of stuff. We're not going to interfere with that at all. And this is Australia, ladies and gentlemen. Amazing how so many people in Western Sydney can defend the horrible, vile remarks of that Islamic nurse. And then when she finally is charged, guess what? They're rising up because they think that they're being hard done by, even though they're the ones that are saying the horrible things. It's scary. I don't want anyone to come alongside me and start yelling and screaming. That would freak me the hell out. It's not acceptable. They know full well what they're doing, and they're allowed to keep doing it. Why? Because the government fears them. The police fear them. Unreal. Anyway, that's enough from me, but you guys take care, be blessed, and I'll see you all in the next video.